Good morning, traders. This is Michael coming to you from GammaEdge on Friday, May 2nd, with our pre-market morning strategy and briefing session. As always, here at GammaEdge, we start with our three pillars: sentiment, structure, and trend. Currently looking at our market trend model that is based on the tick index. This is basically buying versus selling in the overall market of market participants. And we put a time component to it to aggregate the data to look at a long-term trend or a shorter-term trend of buyers versus sellers. The bolded white line is our CT, that's our cumulative tick, indicating that buyers are still in control of the overall market for past several days. As indicated from lower left to upper right, this bolded CT continues to climb to the upside. These shorter term moving averages are used for trend and direction. Obviously, those are lower left to upper right and stacked in the proper order. So again, buyers continue to maintain control of the overall market. And this longer term colored ribbon here, this is a longer term positioning of market participants. They'll have a look back period of 30 plus days. This also indicates that buyers are trying to take back control of a longer term trend of the overall market. The red is below the cyan. So again, that was our longer indication that sellers were in control, but we continue to see the slope change to a more positive, and the red is trying to merge above this cyan, which would give us the indication to continue to put longer term money to work in the market. The breadth indicator up here, new highs versus new lows yesterday. New highs continue to outpace new lows, as indicated by more stocks being bought than sold. So we continue to watch this breadth indicator, telling us that more stocks are being bought. The institutional, this is filtered cumulative tick, plus 1,000, minus 1,000 larger orders. Yesterday it was below zero for most of the day. And stayed below zero into the close, just indicating that institutions most likely were selling more than buying, but it wasn't a significant down day as we've seen previously and past historical days overall the past week. We did see significant buying days if you do the look back or follow us anytime. And so obviously the cumulative tick above zero, if you're a bull, or if you're a bull, you want to see that maintain above zero. You want to see this bolded CT maintain above the moving averages and at the very least above the colored ribbon on any pullback to maintain the bullish stance of the overall market trend model. Moving on to the SPXA, this is our cruise ship. This is the longer term expiries of the monthlies. This doesn't turn over as fast, but it's still based on the SPX, which is the largest liquid options complex we like to look at. We're still put dominated within this overall structure. Again, these are larger positions of institutions or larger market participants. We do notice that the net GEX continues to change from a more negative to a balanced, or will possibly moving to a positive gamma state. Again, the structure is still put dominated via these in the money puts above us, this red negative net delta. But you see this again, the structure continues to improve below the spot price as we continue to see these green positive net deltas emerge, indicating in the money calls and the erosion of those out of the money put speculation. The structure is still a little bit messy, as denoted by the just greens and reds of net GEX within this whole structure, as well as the greens and reds of net OI. So this is just telling that institutions are slightly long and call speculative below spot price at the moment, but they still have a little bit of balance to long hedge to the upside also. So they are continuing to improve the overall structure and complex, but not full on gas pedal out of the money call speculation and long to the upside. So a little bit of hesitancy there in the SPXA. We'll watch obviously coming up with the May expiry and see if this structure continues to maintain or change to a more call dominated state. Moving on to the SPXP, this is our cigarette boat. Obviously, shorter term expiries. These contracts turn over much more rapidly. These are 0DT as well as weekly expiries. We are call dominated as we've been for the past few days. Expected move is still 104 points, so high volatility again heading into today. And then the net GEX is slightly positive with 9,000. Large expiry today, 18%, as you'll notice by the May 2nd GEX expiration down here. So takeaway is key levels that you can denote really quickly are 5650. Again, this is a negative gamma level. If we get through that 5650 and stay above that 5650 level, that could propel us upwards towards this 5700 area that we've been discussing for a few days. And then the expected move is outlined here. So large expected move, this red colored here, 5,500 to the downside, but 5,600 is that key level below us that has the positive gamma. That will most likely be supportive if we do see any pullback. If we do get under this, then we unwind that positive gamma there, which could cause a little bit more weakness to the downside. And we'd look for 5,550 and 5,500 for today. Moving on to the SPX P0DTE, expected move, obviously we outlined that. Net GEX slightly positive. We are call dominated above below spot price. Here is our drunken sailor range. This is basically just low exposure area where we could chop back and forth between if we're within this overall range and structure. To the upside, obviously we see that negative net gamma there at 5650. If we're above that pre-market, we'd anticipate to stay around there or pull back to that level and then possibly propel us up towards the 5700. Also notice that we have a significant amount of in the money puts overhead. That's negative net delta. We will be gapping up most likely. We'll see if we gap up above 5650. So that would put all of these puts out of the money. Again, that could give us an opportunity propel upward. But we will be gapping into that higher in the money put area above. So this could cause us some stalling. I would say around the 5670, 5675 level is what we'd be watching at the open for some stalling, possible retracement, and some profit taking down towards this 5600 level, or even the 5625, 5630 level would be that first area of positive gamma and net delta that could give us supportive type area. Below 5600, obviously we'd unwind this positivity area. So we'd probably look for some more weakness down towards 5550 or the 5570 level for today. Moving on to the delta balance for the SPXP, this is just positioning of the overall market participants, looking at the delta structure. Obviously, if you've watched this for any amount of time, staying above zero is bullish, and then individual planes above and below spot price, as well as the delta balance staying pegged at 1, indicates call speculators are in control. Projected on out in time, we are staying above zero for next week. So again, call speculation alive and well, and market participants are leaning more bullish than bearish looking at that. SPY, again, same story, staying above zero is call dominated. Delta balance pegged at 1 is bullish. Market participants projecting spot price to at least maintain its level or possible price appreciation. Moving on to the Qs, same thing with the delta balance. We do see a slight drop in the right-hand plane. That's out of the money call speculation, but it pulls back towards zero and then rebounds, but the delta balance stays pegged at 1, indicating market participants below spot price are maintaining their calls as well as picking up in the call speculation on out in time. And then the all-important zero line staying above zero is a bullish state. So any pullback, we'd anticipate an opportunity to get involved in the overall market, and we'd like to see market participants do the same. The Netstack command indicating our high sensitivity strikes, obviously 5600. We've extensively talked about that, a large amount of in-the-money calls there. These will be supportive throughout the day as long as we stay above that strike. And then in the money puts, we see those come in at 5,600, and then our third order Greeks here coming in at 5,700, 5,660, and 5,700. So 5,700 is that upside target for today. Most likely, if we stay above 5,650 as well as get above 5,660, I would anticipate us to move towards the 5,700 level. Any pullback, I'd be looking again 5,650 and 5,600 as an opportunity to get involved in the overall market as we're remaining call dominated. As long as the MTM is maintaining its overall structure, sideways to up, we look for an opportunity to get long on any pullback really into these key high sensitivity levels. All right, so heading into today, we'll look at the pre-market. Here we are obviously gapping up into that 5670, 5675 level that we talked about. I'd anticipate some sort of stalling around in here and possible profit taking at the open. Most likely a short-term pullback towards 5650. This would be a great area to get involved unless we drop below that, but I'd look for a pullback to 5650 and then a possible rebound. If we just blow through this 5675 level pre-market, then 5700 would be that target. Below 5600 would be a little bit more risk off and cautious if for some reason we did get down in that area. not anticipating that, as you see the confluence of plus gex, p-trans, and zero gex really sitting all about that level. So again, we're gapping up and moving through those levels. So with the structure a little bit messy, as well as this large gap up, there really may not be an edge for trades, at least in the first 30 minutes to an hour and a half, once we get all this to settle down and get a overall structure built, opening range built on the price action. But again, 5,700 to the upside, 5,650 key level there, and then 5,600 to the downside. So with that, everybody have a great Friday. Make it a great day. If you need anything, let us know. Make sure you're checking us out on X as well as YouTube, and signing up for our free newsletters that we put out every weekend. And everybody have a great day. Thanks.